A man was busking on a street corner in Nashville. Guitar, open case, nobody stopping. Then a cat jumped onto his shoulder, sat down, looked at the crowd, like he owned the corner. And everything changed. His name was James. He'd been on the streets for 3 years. Addiction, bad decisions, the kind of slow unraveling that happens so gradually you don't notice until you're at the bottom looking up. He busked to eat. Most days, people walked past without looking. 2 weeks before that corner, James had come home to the doorway he was sleeping in and found a cat. Orange, thin, one ear torn. The kind of animal that had clearly been on its own for a long time and had learned not to expect much. James had $4. He spent 3 of them at the all-night pharmacy. Antiseptic, gauze, the basics. His one friend told him he was an idiot. Maybe. The cat lived. James named him Bob. The first morning James left to busk, Bob followed him. Down the stairs, out the door. James tried to turn him around. Bob sat down. James picked him up. Bob climbed onto his shoulder, stayed there like he'd done it 1,000 times. James stood on that corner with a guitar and a cat and thought, all right then. People stopped. Not for the music, for the cat. Kids pointed. Tourists pulled out phones. People who would have walked past without blinking crouched down and asked his name, Bob's name. But they started asking James's name too. Money appeared in the case. Enough to eat, enough to sleep somewhere with a door, enough to start thinking about tomorrow. James had tried to get clean before. Programs, willpower, wanting it badly enough. Nothing stuck. Then there was Bob. Bob who needed feeding every morning. Bob who sat on James's chest at night and purred like he was performing some kind of service. James went through withdrawal with Bob on top of him, sweating, shaking. Every hour a negotiation with his own body. Bob didn't move, just stayed. Warm, steady, present. James said later he couldn't explain exactly why it worked. Just that having something depend on him, something that didn't know his history, made him feel like a person worth saving. James got clean, got housing, got a job, started writing about Bob. The book came out 3 years later. Then the film. Bob became famous in a way neither of them planned for. James did interviews, traveled, spoke to people who recognized something in his story they couldn't quite name. Bob sat on his shoulder through most of it, same as always. Bob died on a Monday morning in June. James posted one thing that day, no long statement, just a photo. Bob on his shoulder, the corner of 5th and Broadway behind them, and one line, "He saved my life." 3 words, the truest thing James ever said.